Hi class, have you ever wanted to learn how to do a basic braid? Well, let's do it together. So today I'm going to be doing the braid on this wig, just because nobody in my audience has longer hair. So this is the easiest way that I could think of to go ahead and demonstrate how to do that basic braid. So we're gonna start off by making sure we have all of our materials that we need to do the braid. So depending on if you're dealing with thicker hair or more like frizzier hair, you'll definitely need a brush and you'll need a hair tie to tie together that braid once you're finished with it. I do recommend using a brush. You can use a comb, but especially if you have thicker hair, like this wig has kind of thicker hair, it's harder to brush through with a comb. So I would say if you do have it, use a brush. It does make it easier to get everything less tangled. And if you need it, like detangling spray or like defrizzing oil and things like that, you can use for the braid as well. So what we're gonna do first is we're going to start brushing the braid or brushing the hair from the bottom, just to get the hair nice and smooth and brushed through, no tangles in it. The reason why I want to start from the bottom is because when you're dealing with hair, especially if it is tangled, it's easier to detangle it using the bottom, just because if you're going to pull your brush right here, it kind of pulls the scalp, and you don't want to pull the scalp, that's going to hurt you. So what you're gonna do is start at the bottom here, go ahead and pull all the hair to the front here, or like this would be the person's back. So pull the hair behind the shoulders and go ahead and start at the bottom and just brush. And if your hair is super tangly, or whoever you're doing the hair or the hair braid on and their hair is tangly, you can go ahead and hold it at the middle. Sometimes I do this because my hair is super tangled, and you're just gonna go ahead and brush like that. That way it's not pulling from the scalp. So just gonna brush through like this. Make sure all the tangles are out. And because this is a wig, it's gonna be a little bit harder to get it completely detangled. So I'm not gonna worry too much with the wig, getting it completely detangled. All right, so once you have finished doing the lower part of brushing the hair, let that down and then start at the top. Or since this is a little bit longer and we only did this bottom part, I'll go ahead and do this. That way we're working our way up and not pulling the hair. All right. Okay, we did that middle section. Now we're just going to brush completely from the top to get it all brushed out and detangled. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so now that we have it completely detangled, sorry, there we go. Okay, now that we have it completely detangled, we'll go ahead and start with the braid. Okay, so what you're gonna do is, once you have it completely brushed out, you're gonna want to separate it into 3 sections: a section on the left, a section in the middle, and a section on the right. So we'll just start by getting the section on the left by itself. So since there are going to be 3 sections and you only have 2 hands, a trick that I use if I'm doing a braid on other people, you can do it by just holding this like this, and then when you grab your middle section out, and you want these to be pretty equal, so try to get them looking as equal as possible. That looks pretty equal to me. So I have my hand like this, and I'm gonna stick it the middle part in between my pointer finger and my middle finger and hold it like that. So that way they're separated, but I can still hold both of those pieces. All right, and then we got this piece on the right here. So we have all three of our pieces, and also another thing, if it's easier for you to separate it like this, you can take this part, put it over your arm, and then you can grab the middle with your hand, and then this part right here. But eventually when you go to do the braid, you're gonna have to kind of use your hand anyways to overlap them. So that's why I do recommend just putting these fingers here, and then this one in between the pointer in the middle, and then just using this hand for the right hand side. So starting the braid, after you have your 3 equal sections, you're gonna take this left section, and then you're going to overlap it on this middle piece over the top. So just grab it and then take like that. And so now it's gonna be the new middle piece. And then your old middle piece is going to be the new leftmost piece. And then you're gonna do the same thing with the right. You're gonna grab the piece on the right here, and then you're gonna overlap it with the new middle piece. So take it and just overlap over the front of that piece. Okay, so now you have kind of the same, you got your 3 equal sections, but now you have a new left, a new middle, and a new right. And then you're gonna continue by just overlapping. So taking this left piece, taking it over the middle, and then taking your right piece, taking it over that new middle, and you'll continue like that. So with this too, depends on what kind of braid you're going for, but typically I take mine and kind of tighten it, because after you're done with the braid, I'll show you at the end, but you can kind of loosen it up as you go at the end. So we're just going to continue taking our left piece, overlap the middle, take our right piece, overlap the middle, and you're going to do this all the way down. Left piece, overlap, right piece, overlap. And then as you get better at the braid, it's a little easier to just go faster. You don't even have to pay attention and look most of the time. And then typically what I would do is leave an inch, but if you have layers in your hair or the person's hair that you're braiding, you might have to go up more. So this wig, it does have layers, so you can kind of see here that, if you can see that, the hair ends shorter right here, and then it's longer down the ends. So you do want to make sure you have all the hair in there, and that way like none of it's like falling out of the braid. Another thing is, I'm sure a lot of people know this, but hair ties on the wrist, it makes it easier to keep track of the hair tie, especially when you are doing a braid like this, because then you're not walking around holding on to the braid or having the other person hold on to the braid until you find that hair tie. So you'll just take the elastic, put it around, hold it like this, twist it, so that way it's a whole nother like separate hair tie kind of right here. Wrap it around again, and then just continue doing that until it's tight enough that you're happy with it, because you don't want it to be too loose to where it just falls out. So because this is a wig, you can see it's kind of like looser at the bottom. But if you do want a tighter braid, like I said, grab those braids, tie them as tight as you can, like hold on to them and grab. If you want the braid looser, and so you're at this final step, you'll take the hair and go like this to each little point. All right, and there you have like a looser braid. I typically don't do mine that loose, but this is what you can do. But other than that, you are done. So now that we have completed a braid, can you do it yourself?